In a modest home in a quiet suburb of South Africa, there was a boy who saw the world differently from everyone around him. While other kids played with toys, he would spend hours buried in books, reading about planets, galaxies, and inventors who changed the world. His room was small, but in his mind, the space was limitless. The city around him was calm, the streets silent, but inside there was a noise of dreams that never stopped, and ideas running faster than anyone could catch. One day, he came across his very first computer, a dark green screen, lines of code appearing and disappearing like doors to brand new worlds. The moment his fingers touched the keyboard, he felt like he was writing a new future, even if he didn't know what it looked like yet. Night would come, the stars would light up the sky, and he would look at them as if waiting for a message. With every page he finished, and every idea that came to him, he took a step closer to his big dream, a dream no one else could see. And on one quiet night, he drew a small rocket in his notebook. Not just a drawing, but a promise to himself that one day he would reach space. After years of dreaming and planning, and countless days of waiting, the ambitious young man finally set foot in the land of opportunity. America, the place where they say anything is possible, but anyone who's tried knows the road here is far from easy. His very first steps were through the busy streets of San Francisco, a city of crazy ideas and startups that begin in a small garage and go on to change the world. He walked among the noise, the signs, the traffic, and every detail around him told him he had begun a brand new chapter in his life. He entered Stanford University, one of the most prestigious in the world. But his heart was drawn to something far bigger than lecture halls and chalkboards filled with equations. Between the university's hallways and the glow of a bulky gray computer monitor, he spent hours typing code, deleting, rewriting, as if every line was a brick in a bridge leading him to his dream. He knew success wouldn't come easily, and every step carried risk. But deep inside, he felt this journey was the one that would take him to the life he'd always imagined. In a small office, cluttered with scattered papers and tangled cables, the story began. Elon Musk, still searching for his place in the world, decided to take a risk and start his very first company. It was an idea that seemed crazy at the time. An online service, in an era when the internet itself was just taking its first steps. The computer was huge and outdated, the screen displayed faded colors, and the internet was slower than anyone today could imagine. But the ideas in his head were moving faster than any network back then. He spent long hours in front of that screen, typing lines of code, testing, tweaking, and sometimes starting over from scratch after wiping everything clean. Night would fall, and he'd still be in the same chair, a cold coffee cup next to the keyboard, silently witnessing the endless hours of work. He didn't have a big team, a fancy office, or even decent funding, but he had a fire of passion that burned brighter every time he got closer to his dream. Beside him, a partner who shared the same determination, sketching ideas on paper and filling a whiteboard with arrows and lines. Like a treasure map they were determined to follow. And in that moment, when he pressed the power button, he knew this wasn't just the launch of a new website, but the beginning of a journey that would change his life forever. The road to success was far from smooth. In an instant, big dreams collided with harsh reality. Money was running out, bills were piling up, and pressure from investors grew heavier by the day. Meetings became tense, and decisions were harder than ever before. Companies around Musk were collapsing, the market was shifting fast, and every move could send his project over the edge. But instead of giving up, he began spending long nights in the office, working alone, writing code, fixing problems, recalculating every detail. He counted the few dollars he had left, knowing the next step could be the final one. And in a quiet moment, standing by a rain-streaked window, he decided that no matter what happened, he would not back down. After the struggles and setbacks, Elon decided to start an entirely new chapter. A dream that seemed strange to many. A company to build private rockets. SpaceX, the name that would turn the world of space upside down. In a noisy factory, he stood among engineers, watching every detail, from the smallest bolt to the largest engine. The plans on paper were grand, but bringing them to life was a challenge bigger than anything he'd faced before. The first launch failed, then the second, even the third. But each time he came back stronger, learning something new from every attempt. Finally, on a sunny day, the whole team stood in anticipation. The countdown began, and the roar of engines shook the ground. The rocket rose through thick smoke, and for the first time, Elon's dream was on its way to the stars. After conquering space, it was time to conquer the roads, but in a completely different way. Elon Musk entered the world of cars, not to add another model, but to change the rules of the game. Tesla wasn't just a car, it was a revolution against fuel and the very concept of driving. In the factories, machines roared as engineers installed massive batteries instead of traditional engines. On test tracks, bold designs and technologies no one had seen before were being put to the test. People began to see the future right in front of them. Cars that were faster, cleaner, and smarter. And with every new launch, Tesla's name grew, transforming from a crazy idea into a global symbol of change. Today, Elon Musk is more than just an entrepreneur. He's a living icon of the idea that the impossible can be achieved. From a small, cluttered office filled with scattered papers and wild ideas, to rockets piercing the darkness of space, and electric cars paving the way for a cleaner, smarter future. His vision doesn't stop at Earth's horizon. He dreams of building life on Mars while shaping our world with innovations that change lives every single day. Crowds cheer, eyes filled with hope, as people witness how one dream can transform entire industries. But his greatest message is this: success is never an accident, and failure is never the end. It's a new beginning. Every fall is a lesson. Every challenge is an opportunity, and every small step can be the start of a giant leap. The road is never easy, but it's worth it, because even the craziest ideas can become realities that change the world. The future isn't far away. The future starts today, with a single idea, and someone brave enough to believe in it until the very end.